to the Salt Circle podcast. My name is Hank. With me, in brightest day, blackest night, he cut off his hand to save his infant child. It's Ben.
Yeah, that's me. Dude, the Green Lantern bit was pretty fucking good. It was pretty hype. I was very excited.
That's the thing the Green Lanterns say.
Yeah, but like sometimes they say it and I don't like I guess I haven't really I don't know if I've seen it. I mean,
He must have said it in that episode of Superman with Hal Jordan.
That's what I was thinking. I don't remember it being as hype. This was very fucking hype.
This is more hype.
You know, like sometimes
John Stewart's better. That version of Kyle Rayner, particularly.
It was good shit.
Yeah,
we're talking
Justice League.
We're talking Justice League. Yeah, we're finally on it.
Made it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not like. I mean, we gotta wait a little bit to see where I'm gonna put it in the.
Yeah.
We only did episodes 1 through 13 this time. I gotta say, even though it's only 13 episodes, initial thoughts, I really fucking love the dual episode format. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, it's only technically we've watched 6 stories.
Yeah. Cuz our first thing was a tri-part.
Yeah, they opened with a 3-parter. And there weren't like when these aired, they aired in an hour block. They didn't air them as like cliffhangers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think,
some of them maybe.
Although according to this Wikipedia, I'm wrong. Yeah,
I mean that would get you.
They were aired
back
them
in
most of the week. I guess by season 2, they started airing them together.
The fucking.
I guess this season they aired them.
The absolute horror of fucking seeing the part 1 and then missing part 2 the next week.
Oh my god.
No.
Terrible.
Oh no. But yeah, man. It's pretty fucking good. There's also like I don't know. I don't want to say it's like adult, but like people are getting kind of fucked up. And also they're just letting the Flash hit on people.
They are just letting the Flash hit on people.
It's not adult, but like it's not
it's not
baby.
It's not The Return of the Joker.
No. It's not, we're not in that territory at all.
Like, I don't know. It's still pure superheroics.
Oh,
right.
Oh, totally. No, it's nothing like that. But like, it's just more. I mean, maybe it's not any more than any of the other shows, and I'm just continuing to be surprised by it for no reason.
Sure.
But,
But we're at a high school, for one thing. Like, these are all adult characters.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean,
so
clearly.
That might be part of what you're feeling.
Yeah, it could be. That makes sense. We don't really have like any kid-centric episodes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, except for that baby.
Well, yeah.
It gets knifed to a rock.
I'd rather take the baby because if it's just being a baby, it has less chance to be annoying. As opposed to like a 4-year-old.
I think if it's the baby, its only job is being annoying, so you learn to deal with it.
Man, dude, the fucking scene. I think the Aquaman 2-parter was like my favorite of the bunch. And I'm a little biased because, like, first off, his design is fucking sick. I like bearded Aquaman. I like buff bearded Aquaman for sure.
Yeah, that was like 90s comics Aquaman. Although like his design is out of the comics, although that version of Aquaman was more tied into doing like Aquaman as King Arthur story.
Oh, okay.
An Aquaman as King Arthur story, which they were not going for that. They were just like, he's a barbarian or king or whatever. Like, he's just tough.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking about it. Maybe that's why. Like, this dude's like...
He's 90s edgy Aquaman. He has a fish hook for a hand.
I mean, the fish hook is honestly take it or leave it for me. It's fine. Him getting it is fucking cool. That scene was fucking great. He's like oh my god, they did such a good job at conveying the just raw emotion. Dude's just like fucking trying to hack at the chain. Doesn't work. Doesn't even fucking hesitate. Oh, it's so good.
And they make the blanket his son is like is red.
Yeah,
so that when he ties off his fucking disembodied hand, it's like, no, it was already red. See? It's fine.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
I was thinking about that too. Huh. Interesting. How convenient. The other big thing for him is that I looked up the voice actor just before we did this. Scott Rummel. Fucking crushes it. I love his voice, dude. It's so good. It's exactly what I want.
He does a good job. My only problem with that episode is, like, I think his brother is a boring villain.
That's true. Yeah, no, it's just like, who gives a shit?
At
all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, he came and then his brother turned. The generals are siding with his brother. Wow, okay. Oh, but he's the traitor now because his brother took turn. Like, snore.
Yeah. But I like the way they, like, do Aquaman's, like, talking to sea creatures power, where he just fucking does it in the middle of the big battle, and Flash is like, whoa.
Yeah,
dude just literally jumped the shark.
God damn it. I don't have a tomato on hand even. He let his brother just fall to his death.
That part he's so fucking cold that it's so good.
Oh man, I was hoping. I'm like, they wouldn't, right? Like, he's not gonna. They wouldn't. No. That fuck doesn't do anything.
I mean,
what does he say when he picks up the thing? He's like, I believe this is mine.
This is mine.
Yeah.
He just picks up the trident.
So good. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I also like how he just walks to the fucking World Assembly. Just guy on a mission just by himself.
Uh-huh. He has to ask people where it is.
Yeah.
Just ask for directions. He walks out and gets bazookaed. Just like he just like gets yeeted.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I love what they capture Deadshot after that, and he's like, "Why did you fucking try to kill Aquaman? I don't know. Why would a hired assassin try to murder someone?"
Yeah, dude. It's so funny. Also, we get the Batman bit where he's like, "I got a word of advice for you," or whatever he said, and it cuts away. It's like, what do you say? You don't want to know. It's so good. Just an immediate, like, he's like, yeah, I'll talk. I changed my mind suddenly.
Yeah. I think the best criminal changing their mind because of what Batman did, though, is in the last episode we watched. The Injustice for All one. Oh, did you not watch it out of order?
Was I supposed to watch it out of order? I probably forgot about that.
Yeah, I told you if you wanted the most hype to watch 8
Okay.
and 9 last, but it's not a big deal.
I was gonna,
it's just because that's the Luthor one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch it out of order, but it's not like there was an insane hype difference, I think. But that was that was a highlight episode.
It's mostly just that first scene is like the first payoff for having watched other stuff.
Gotcha.
Which there's not a lot of in these episodes because they're trying to establish they're a new thing and these characters, so they're not bringing back. Like, they had a mandate for not bringing back any supporting characters at first because they only had so much screen time and they wanted to give it to the members of the Justice League to make sure they were all developed as characters before they decide that's
stupid,
dumb, and they start bringing it back in. Yeah. Well, and also like they find it takes like the way some of the new characters are written. They don't fully have their voice yet, like Jon Stewart and Wonder Woman.
Gotcha.
Like there's, and even the Flash, but he's probably closer. He's just a little hitting on women a little more often than later, maybe. But like Wonder Woman's kind of naive in these episodes, like and like that kind of just goes away. And
like getting used to the world of man or whatever.
Yeah. She just gets to be herself instead of, I don't know, there are like parts in these episodes where she feels like a much younger character than she feels like later, I would say.
Gotcha. See, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually if you recall, one of my semi-introductions to Justice League type stuff was the DC Superhero Supergirls or whatever the full title of that is, and they play that up quite a bit in that. I mean, it's in also like they're in high school or whatever, so like it's not super gross really. It's funny, but I kind of like a little. I mean, you know me, I love that fish out of water shit. Is really what it comes down to. Her mom's a bitch also.
Yeah.
But back to this episode.
Failure of royalty.
Yeah. In Justice for All, I had like fucking like my heart skipped a beat. The Joker appears, and I'm like, oh no, wait, okay, this is before he like actually did horrifying shit. We're still in fun Joker territory.
But he does have that. He has that design from the past episode.
I mean, which is, this design is fine because it was in the rework for the end of Batman where his eyes are like black, right?
Yeah, and they simplified those features to nothingness.
Like cursed.
Yeah.
No, this
is a better
fine.
Joker design.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lex is good shit. We didn't get any shots of him like posing up, sleeping.
No.
That's a little disappointing.
But I do like the transition of them going from businessman Lex Luthor to like an older version of Lex Luthor where he's just a fucking evil mad scientist guy.
Yeah. No, there's like
with his power suit.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
And I really like the bit of Martian Manhunter going in there and then pretending to be weak to the kryptonite so that Lex Luthor starts monologuing and then fucking busting him.
It was so good. Oh, that shit slapped. We got a character in this that I thought was fucking cool that was, I think, new. I don't think he was in Superman at all. That would be, I guess, according to this, his name is Shade. That was some cool shit. Just fucking trapping people in darkness.
Yeah, I don't remember who he's a villain for. Primarily.
Flash Comics.
Okay.
Interesting. Can Flash outrun the darkness? Probably.
Yeah, I don't think I've read any like great comics with him. I mostly remember him from this show when he shows up occasionally.
Though portrayed in Silver Age comics as a thief with a cane that could manipulate shadows, the character was reinvented in 1994 as a morally ambiguous Victorian-era immortal who gained the ability to manipulate shadows and immortality from an unexplained mystical event.
Yeah, sure. That sounds right.
Yeah, why? Yeah,
that's
why
comics.
The Shade draws his alias from Dante's Inferno. Nerd. What a tryhard.
Anyway, we got our first hyper intelligent gorilla that we're getting in Justice League.
I was just thinking about that when you were like, "There's so many intelligent gorillas. Do we need another?" And then just immediately run into another one.
We're not done running into them.
I like this gorilla.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of like sophisticated opera enjoying gorilla. Like this dude had his priorities fairly straight, you know.
Batman defeated him by offering to pay him double what Luthor was paying. Which is a great bit.
Okay, so we get some stuff in here. It's semi-related. We get, I don't even know how the best way to describe it. There's just like a lot of the Jesus Christ, my brain is the jet lag. I'm blaming it on jet lag.
Sure.
I'm gonna say power levels, but that's not really the phrase I want. But even like in terms of like Batman, well, Bruce Wayne, fortune power levels, like. In Batman, he's a rich bitch, but in this, he's like, yeah, I just like hid this in R&D. The entire fucking Justice League tower.
He has an orbital space station.
Yeah, he just hid it in the budget. It's fine. Like
he's just Iron Man.
Yeah, it's so funny.
His superpower is infinite money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he's just rich. He is just like literally infinite money.
Dude, it's so good. I was laughing. But I did notice like maybe more so in this just because you have to balance out the characters against each other a little bit. I guess, but I was thinking to myself at some point we had in the first I've just been noticing a lot more like inconsistencies. Not that like Superman needs to be a certain power level.
Oh, are you talking about the fact that Superman kind of sucks in these episodes?
I'm talking about the
gets
fact
his
that
ass kicked.
Like he was struggling to catch up to a van. It was just a
every
fucking van.
instance of someone shooting them with lasers, Superman's getting shot first.
Yeah, he's getting wrecked constantly, and I'm like, I kind of don't like it. Like, it's fine, but
this is just a quirk of season 1 that they realized they just leaned on the trope of make the villain seem tough by having Superman get hurt.
Yeah.
And like in the one of the DVD commentary things, Bruce Timm is like, "Yep, I did that. I made Superman a wimp. My bad. We didn't realize we were doing it, but we just leaned on that as a crutch, and it became a trend. And it's specifically a season 1 problem."
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I was like, even in the first.
Also, like his design with his like cheekbones, he like looks gaunt.
He looks. I was thinking that too. I'm like, he looks fucking tired.
Yeah. And they also redesigned his face for season 2.
Nice.
And he looks more like regular Superman.
Like
that's definitely one of the main like weaknesses of season 1.
His
voice though is really good.
Oh, his voice is solid, yeah.
With the new voice actor.
It's like the tail end of Batman that we watched that had the Superman episode, right? Where he
Batman Beyond?
because the starfish one. Yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where he was voiced by the voice actor for Jor-El.
Yes. But coming from that, where like there's all those starfish jumping at him, and he's like just hyper lasering them with his eyes at like a glance. And then in this, there's like 3 big robots around him, and he can't like just do a little quick triple tap. And I'm like, it just feels bad. What happened to you? Guy just doesn't want to try anymore, I guess. I don't know.
The thing they do that is consistent throughout the show that I do like is Wonder Woman always takes out the most people in the big fights. She's always the one getting in there and fucking people up.
Dude, she beat the shit out of Superman when they both saw each other as monsters. She wrecked him.
Yes.
Even before he realized and was like holding back.
Yeah. She was ready to murder him.
Oh yeah, she was not holding the fuck back. Dude, Hawk Girl is ready to murder people. That's
also true. They did make both the women on the team like really fucking aggressively violent.
I don't think Wonder Woman is like, it's a different kind of violence, I guess.
Sure. They're both from warrior cultures.
Yeah. I mean, Wonder Woman, Hawk Girl is just like, her first instinct is like, I got this big thing. I got like,
when you have a nth metal mace.
Yeah.
I would have to call it magic, but like technically it's actually anti-magic. When you have the mace that can hit anything, you hit things with the mace.
She fucking hit the planet laser back, and I was like, okay, something's up.
Yeah. It's the 9th metal, Ben.
I don't know what that is.
Don't you remember Dark Knight Metal? Where we learned about the 10th metal. This is the 9th metal.
I don't remember fucking anything from that except like fleeting images that feel like a fever dream and the backside of the map. That's it. That's all I remember.
Batman took a baby Darkseid out of the backpack.
Yep. I remember that's the one that started with like Justice League Voltron, and I was so into it, and then it wasn't that. I got fucking baited. Thought I was gonna have a good time with Justice League mechs, but nope.
Whatever. I'll have you read it again someday, and then you'll get it. After we've done a bunch of other things.
Nah, let it live. Just like
because we got to do the sequel. Dark Knight's Death Metal.
You know what would have been fun? Doing the sequel first. Make it as confusing as possible. Speaking of Hawk Girl, though, and that sort of thing. So one of the things I like about this, and I was kind of about like the show's format and like that we have a pretty big cast of characters. Yeah. I get really excited for having like our rotating between like character specific stories, right? Like we got our focus on Wonder Woman, we had our focus on Green Lantern, like that. I like that shit because like you do all like maybe not all the time, but I don't know. It's just nice getting the extra like little bits of lore or getting exposed to their backstory or what they're about or all that shit.
Because these are characters that we're all created. We're not created to ever be on a team together. They were all created to be like in their own individual stories.
Yeah,
and it's kind of weird that they're all on the same team. Honestly. So I mean that's kind of the fun of it, but also that means there's a lot of room to dive into any one of them.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you can spoil if you want. I hope we get more of Hawkgirl just because I know the least about her. Like I don't think we've encountered her in anything else unless it was like fleeting.
No, and this is the best version of Hawkgirl, like easily.
That
like
makes
there's no comics
fucking makes
with
sense.
Hawkgirl that's as good as this. I think she's only really in this show because Bruce Timm had some Hawkgirl comic and he just loved her like design, like her helmet shape. He just thought that was sick.
I mean, her helmet.
That's like
her helmet shape is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah. So that's really because she's kind of the flex slot that could have been a bunch of different characters. Like that could have been Aquaman instead of her.
You know, I was kind of hoping Aquaman would hop on board at the end of his episode. Not to replace. I didn't want him to replace anybody, but like he's just cool as hell. This specific version of him like is cool.
Yeah, I kind of think this version's better. I think less is more.
Well, I mean, yeah, naturally leave him wanting, but
yeah,
fucking oversaturate me, make me sick of him. No, it's I
don't know. I think
or
the team they picked is really fucking good. So I don't.
It's
like desire to change it.
I don't really have any notes on it. I suppose.
And once it switches over to Unlimited, the team is fucking gigantic. Like, then we're like going into like really obscure characters. So
hell yeah.
But for now, we're just focused on this team.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I like all the people.
Yeah. Like Green Lantern, John Stewart.
Good shit.
I think he's kind of more of a dick in these early episodes than he is later.
He seems like a bit of a.
He's like pretty like always confrontational.
Yeah,
but I think in comics he was an even bigger dick. Actually, now that I think about it, like being a dick was kind of his whole character in comics. He's another one I think he's better on this show than he is in comics, in any particular comics.
Yeah,
because he gets really fleshed out here. Like the main things about his character are that he doesn't wear a mask like all the other Green Lanterns wear their little domino mask.
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't because he's not ashamed of being John Stewart. He's not ashamed of being a Green Lantern. It's just is who he is. Kind of is like the idea.
I like how we got in the Green Lantern episodes where he's like accused of a crime and stuff.
Yeah, they also like conceive of him in this as he's like been a Green Lantern for a really long time. That's why his eyes glow green. Like the power's like kind of in him because he's just been in Green Lantern mode for so long.
That makes sense. Based on like how some of the stuff in that episode went.
Yeah.
I do like how all the other Green Lanterns that we see are just like wonky. Like that
they're aliens.
That dude's just a ball. And they all get their fucking asses kicked like immediately.
They don't. Like, this is not a flattering depiction of the other Green Lanterns.
Dude,
man.
It was fucking rough.
They fucking suck.
Like at one point they're standing around, they're like, he was the best of us. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of sure, I guess. And then they all get their asses kicked to the bar by like exclusively Hawkgirl. I'm like, oh, so the bar wasn't that high then. Oh, I like how the one I forget which I can picture the Green Lantern, but I don't remember his name. The one that's like beefy and just sitting there the whole time. And he waits until after everyone else gets their ass kicked, and he's like, nah, we should hear her out. Like, she's right.
I think that's Kilowog. Is he like pink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pink boy.
Because Kilowog's like, he's the dude. He's the like side alien Green Lantern character that's like the most likable.
Sure.
And he like trains other Green Lanterns or whatever.
Yeah, the other ones like sucked.
Yes. that ball guy, just a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, dude. Him fucking getting ping-ponged around was hilarious, though. They're like, this guy looks like a ball. There's only one thing we can do. He's going to bounce off of minimum 5 surfaces.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that shit was good.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Green Lantern lore stuff is fucking weird. So I think they handle it fine for doing like one episode to like introduce you to shit like the Guardians and the Manhunters.
Actually, they do a terrible job because in one of these episodes, someone completely shoots a very clearly yellow laser at Green Lantern and he deflects it without issue. I went into my photo editor. I looked at the hex code. It's yellow. Ruined.
He doesn't have the yellow weak, the like pure yellow weakness. That's just not a thing.
Yeah. It's just a very funny concept to me overall. I'm kind of glad it's not there.
It's extremely goofy. So.
Yeah, it's a bit much, but it is fucking like a tiny.
The original Green Lantern's weakness was wood.
I mean, Jesus, you got me sweating over here. Christ. Woo. What a fucking... I mean, even ignoring the hilarious context we can put that in, like, that's still funny.
They did later retcon him into being gay, also.
Naturally. Yeah, why wouldn't you at that point? Oh, you thought
first they made his son gay, and then years later they decided now he's gay.
Okay, I mean, like, why not? Like, fucking send it.
Yeah. The Green Lantern that really nobody cares about.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I should send you a picture of what original Green Lantern looks like.
Yeah, hit me. Have I seen it? I don't know if I've seen original Green Lantern.
Here, I'll send you an Alex Ross drawing. So he's looking his best.
Hell yeah.
Photorealistic.
Oh, God. You know,
he's got the garish.
I miss the
costume thing going.
I miss the camp, you know? I miss the pageantry of being a hero before everybody was wearing nanotechnology body armor.
When they had high collars.
I miss the high collars and the big belt buckles. And the high contrast colors.
Roger Manhunter still has a high collar, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
And but he's wearing like an X on his chest instead of a shirt.
But he's not wearing a big old belt buckle. That belt is like 6 inches wide, dude.
That's true.
Also, they
so
chose
like the version of the Green Lanterns that we got is like Silver Age when they're like turning fantasy characters into science fiction characters.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like the transition that happened.
Okay.
Because he was just magic or whatever, and like the Green Lantern did science magic.
Yeah. Okay. Fine, I guess.
It comes from aliens.
Yeah, why not? We got some actual magic in these episodes. We got our sorcerer boy,
Felix Faust.
Dude, my favorite bit in that was when the Flash accidentally set off like the electric beam thing from the artifact staff, whatever, and Batman is like, "Don't touch anything," and then it cuts and everybody's like sets the shit that they were holding down. Oh, it was so good. Like literally everyone, like Wonder Woman's holding something, Martian's holding something, whoever else was there is holding. Superman was holding a thing. Like, guys, come on.
It is pretty funny.
And that was like kind of, I mean, not that it was a callback or anyone that we had seen before, but like we know that Batman has dealt with sorcerers and shit. So like, to me, I was like, I'm another instance of like, I'm glad I watched all this shit because, you know, I have the context of like, yeah, this ain't Batman's first fucking rodeo.
Man.
He knows not to pick shit up.
He has some understanding of that there's magic that is fucking dangerous.
Yeah. The I mean, the thing with Hades was kind of wonky, I guess.
Sure.
I find it, I mean, aside from like just him, like I got whiplash from his design because he comes out and he's in like fucking spiked ass armor, like looking like a Warcraft character, and then he takes it off and he's like supposed to be like this smarmy handsome guy, I guess, or thick locks and all that. I'm like, okay. And then we get the third design where he's like bestial. I'm like, please pick one. My brain can't keep up. But then also I made the mistake of...
Not my favorite depiction of Hades ever.
Yeah.
It's not memorable.
No. I think if they stuck to one, I would maybe... If they just kept him in the spike armor, that would have stuck with me a little more. Just because it was like... this is... Yeah, it's Hades. You remember his giant fucking pauldrons? That's classic Hades design. But no, I was like thinking while we were going through this episode, and well, yeah, like both sections, and getting into some of the nitty gritty of stuff. I'm like, the way that Greek mythology ties in is so confusing. Just like just having this as the context, I'm like, I don't know how any of this fits in.
I mean, just like how extra confusing it is when you're like trying to hold in actual Greek mythology, DC Comics Greek mythology, and then Marvel Comics Greek mythology all in your head at once.
Yeah. It's a lot. Does DC Comics also get into Norse mythology?
I don't think so.
They have to at some point, right?
I mean,
somewhere
at some point.
It'd be shocking if they didn't. Yeah.
But Thor is such a fucking
I was gonna say
Marvel thing. So.
Yeah, what do they do? I mean, just ignore him, I guess. Maybe.
I don't know. I just don't think they're like... I mean, I think they're probably like a minor thing in some comics, but they're definitely not as big a thing.
Yeah.
As Greek is in both publishers and Norse is in Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't imagine they would be... It'd be interesting if they started doing like Norse stuff, because then I guess if it's different enough, It would be fine, right? Because, like, I don't think they could be like, what are you gonna do if they want to also reference Norse mythology and have like a Thor character in their universe? You know, like, whatever. Unless it's the same exact sort of thing.
Preliminary investigation suggests it's usually a joke about where it's like Thor from Marvel Comics, but also he doesn't matter.
Hell yeah.
Or he just gets his ass kicked or something.
Yeah, of course. We had the War World episode.
Uh-huh. What did you think of that one?
I mean, aside from like the issues with Superman that we talked about, I liked it. I mean, you could have seen a lot of it coming from like a fucking mile away, right? we're not
sure.
We're not like super innovating on stuff, but I really like a bit of that story. I'm a big Gladiator fan, I would say.
Sure.
In general. And I think this was a pretty good thing of that. I would have liked to see more of an arena. Like, we only got like the 2 fights or whatever. Or no, 3, sorry. Like, I would have liked to see more combat stuff going on. I don't know.
Sure.
That's just my preference.
Watching the commentary, Bruce was like, "Oh, people fucking hated War Worlds."
Really?
And mostly because of the ending.
The
fact that like Superman does not really he mostly just gets beat up.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, he gets his ass fucking handed to him. Well, that's what, when I was watching this was like the peak. Because before we had earlier stuff that I can kind of write off as like, we need to make it look intense. I got like, literally Superman was struggling to keep up with a fucking van. He raced Flash around the world. And now there's like just a basic bitch fucking rubber tired van going down the road. And he's like chasing it. And I'm like, this shouldn't be a chase at all. This is ridiculous. But, like, what the fuck ever, you know? But here, I don't know. By this point, I was like, this dude is just as strong as Superman. What are we doing here? Like, he's picking, like, clearly he's not as strong because Superman still wins. But I'm like, this shouldn't have been this kind of fight. Like, the show did such, I think the Superman show did such a good job of, like, yeah, he's not like super overpowered or anything, right? He's still actually fighting. He has to take some punches, and those punches have an impact. But there's a lot of cases of like his opponents are not winning by brute strength. They're just planning and plotting and doing shit to win.
Yeah.
And this is just brute strength, and I'm like, this isn't the sort of fight that he's supposed to lose, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like when the dude,
I like Mongol as a villain, mostly because of his voice actor.
Oh,
I think it's really fucking good.
It was great, dude. Like, it was super solid.
Like that's like 90% of it. It's just that voice actor is fucking sick.
That's how I feel about Aquaman in this. I'm like, you know, voice just carries, man. No, Mongol was solid. I liked Draga,
but yeah, and this story, do you remember when I showed you that Superman comic where Superman cover where Superman had a beard?
Yes,
that was the thing that they were adapting for this.
Oh, okay.
Which is like half a story because it doesn't really have an ending. It's like just a part of a thing of Superman being exiled into outer space and going from thing to thing, and he's just there for a while, and then he gets whisked away to somewhere else. So there's not really resolution to that comic.
Gotcha.
From what I read. But I think that's like what they're pulling on this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. I'll just say there's a better Mongol episode later.
Nice. No, like I mean, this is we're getting it. It's like Conan-esque, right?
Yeah.
So like it's up my alley. In the real world, I really am not a huge fan of the concept of might making right. But in comics, fuck me up with that shit.
What if
he's the strongest.
The good guy were also just stronger? What if you could just punch evil?
What if whoever had the strongest punch got to decide what good is, though?
What if just good always had the stronger punch also? It's the Jack Kirby promise.
Yeah.
Like, good and evil exists, and you can punch evil, and good is always gonna fucking be stronger and punch harder.
Yeah. That works until you get the wrong writer on stuff. Shout out to Mike Grell leaving Warlord, and then he immediately backhands a woman in the comics. I'm like, I'm out. The best part of that was coming back to when he did like a anniversary run of it or something. But he literally, I read like a tiny bit past that, and I'm like, this is just garbage now. I, by sheer coincidence, happened to leave at the exact point that he picks up from in his run that he did like 25 years later or whatever it was.
That's very funny.
Yeah, so I got to finish it out without all the misery in between.
Hell yeah.
I should clarify, it was actually an imposter of the main character that like hit a woman, but it was the fact that this woman who was like a decent character and a strong character throughout the entire thing was now immediately like, oh my god, he hit me, and was like, it was a fucking problem. And I'm like, 20 issues ago you would have beat his ass. Like, this, what are we doing?
Yeah,
he would be on the
like
floor.
It was the way he was right. The writer was writing her also.
Yeah, it was more the issue. But also, you know, see, it's like when we did Beowulf, and I'm like, my favorite part of Beowulf was when he like backhanded a woman in the thing, because I think that was early on in that comic too. Just super, super great. No,
the best part of Beowulf is when he dual wields crossbows and backflips. Those are his main attributes.
Oh my god. That whole fucking movie.
That's his fighting style.
No. We all know objectively, statistically, the numbers will back me up on this. If you look at adaptations of Beowulf, the best part of Beowulf is when he fucks Grendel's mom.
Oh, when Hrothgar fucks Grendel's mom.
That's anybody. Grendel's mom being a slut is the absolute backbone of Beowulf, okay?
And her being a terrible CGI creature is much more memorable to me.
The fact that we both came to that reference in Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon was top tier. Oh shit, it's Grendel's mom. Like spindly ass garbage CGI.
Complete garbage CGI monster.
Oh man. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what it's meant to be. This is what the anonymous author who penned Beowulf was imagining when he wrote the story. Wrote it down anyway.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you have thoughts on Martian Manhunter?
Martian Manhunter? He's pretty sick with it. I like his voice a lot. That's big. Man, I forget what episode it was, because he like does stuff, right? He's not always like front and center, and he's not always like the flashiest, but he's always like doing shit that's important, it seems like, which I like.
He's going insubstantial and letting enemies run into each other. They're trying to get him or whatever.
There was, I think my only like eye roll moment where I'm like, he could have had him is when he what's the mercenary's name that they're trying to catch?
Deadshot.
Yeah. He like goes incorporeal or whatever and lets the bite go through him, and I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna grab him off the back, and then he doesn't. He's just like, he's coming to you, Wonder Woman, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, whatever.
No, he should have had him. I agree. I was also feeling that when I watched that this time. What the fuck?
But there was another
fucking clothesline him,
dude. Exactly. I'm like, you could clothesline him, you could grab, like, there's so much you could fucking do.
I know he clotheslines people in this show. That's a thing he does.
Dude, he has
God damn it.
Like, yeah. But there was another point. I actually forget which episode it was, but I remember it was him and the Flash were fighting people, and he fucking lays them out, and the Flash is like, oh, remind me never to make you mad, or whatever, get on your bad side, or whatever the comment was.
Yeah,
it was like he was beating the shit out of people. He was just punching them, and I'm like, hell yeah.
His power set is crazy. He's like Superman, plus he can go incorporeal and like completely shapeshift.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually totally...
And his telepathy.
Yeah. I'm totally blanking. He does the shapeshift thing to be Mongol in the War World episode. What brings him out of it? He has like it's something with the atmosphere, right? Is that episode? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, he's like he's on that planet. He's just like very weak, so he can't hold that form long enough.
Yeah, I remembered as I was saying.
So like he talks out of it, and then he like fucking can't hold the transformation long enough to leave the room.
Yeah. That bit was so good though.
Yeah,
oldie but a goodie.
Fucking, I'm decommissioning this whole project.
Or perhaps I'm being a royal pain. Like, fuck. Right away, sir. No, that voice actor is real good for Mongol.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah. The voice all the cast, fucking top notch. Top notch.
Oh, yeah. No complaints so far. I mean, it's not even, the only thing where I was like, this seems like it could have used a tiny bit more time in the oven was for like the random background nothing character at the start of let me get the actual episode name, Paradise Lost, where it's like the girl, Wonder Woman reunites the girl with her mom, and the mom has some comment about like, I don't know what I would do if anything happened to you, and I'm like, this bit of dialogue and the delivery kind of needed like just a quick like a 10-second workshop or something. That's it. Huge complaint. No, it's just like it's a nothing moment. The only actual thing I noticed,
obviously.
Oh, go on.
Biggest complaint clearly is, why isn't that reporter guy Lois Lane instead?
That'd be yeah. You know what?
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Thanks. I didn't have that in my head, and now I will.
But it's the no supporting characters in season 1 thing.
Yeah,
is why it's not. But come on.
The only thing I noticed from like an art perspective that maybe it's just me, but during the entire Paradise Lost 2-parter, I don't know what it is, if it's just because Wonder Woman's eyes are like so fucking blue compared to other people's and like just how they're being drawn or what, but she looked like very, very slightly cockeyed like so many times. It was throwing me off. Like just animation wonk. Nothing
I've never noticed that.
Nothing like crazy. And it might just be like a me thing. Like if I paused and looked it wouldn't look that way in the still, but like in motion, I'm just perceiving it that way a bit. Because it was never like truly like there's I think I remember in Batman there were a couple episodes where just like pupils are like opposite or whatever, just a little bit of background nonsense.
Sure.
There was nothing like that, but it might just also be like the color of her eyes. Like I get so lost in them, No, but just
go cross-eyed, staring into her eyes.
Yeah. No, but just the shade of blue might be like throwing my perception a little.
Yeah. Well, another thing they said on that commentary about season 1 was they didn't go with like art style first in the way they did with other shows. Like they tried to make the world more grounded, and thus it's more boring. They kind of said that was probably a mistake too, because they were like the stories are going to be over the top, so they wanted to make the world like more realistic to like contrast with it or whatever. But it just means the cities look fucking boring.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where they're coming from. Like on paper, I can see the logic, but yeah. I mean, I was even sort of thinking about that for like we saw a couple of different alien cities. We saw Atlantis, and I'm like, these all look the fucking same. Like it's just the exact same building style and stuff.
Man, the like background art is just not interesting.
Yeah. It's not that it's bad, but
no,
it's just like
but it's not like they're not like fucking going for it.
Yeah. Eh. The music's been pretty fucking good though.
Music is good.
There was I was tempted to hit you with it when I was watching the Paradise Lost episode, and at the end there's this piano music that kicks in, and I was just thinking about the fucking I mean, I'm sure it's from a video, but like the gif of like a dude playing a piano and it's just on fire because it's just so lit. Like they just went absolutely ham here. Like, it was so fucking good. Which is, I'm not going to say my expectations are high, but based on all of the other shows in this canon that we've watched, like I do have some standards now.
True. How about this Batman design particularly compared to New Adventure, like the restyled one? Yeah. He's not as barrel chested in this one.
Yeah, I like it.
Quite. His ears are bigger, his bat ears, like then they flare out to the sides a little bit, and he has heeled boots.
Yeah,
which is closer to he's like progressing to the Batman Beyond suit, which also had heeled boots.
I want to see if I can.
But and like the other main thing is like they put the blue back in his outfit in terms of how they colored it.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can find like a comparison. I think this is right. I mean, it says 92 to 95 and then 97, 98 and then 2001 to 2006. I mean, I'll send you the image I'm looking at and you can tell me. I think they have like the Batman Beyond design in there, but I think they're just doing it with like Bruce Wayne.
From episode 1.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond. Yeah. That's basically true, I think.
Okay. I mean, that first
I think his
one
belt usually isn't colored that yellow in Justice League.
Sure.
For that third one. like, this is like the coloring it gets more often, where it's more brownish.
Yeah, muted. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing's gonna top that original. It's just so
the bat in the little yellow circle is just better. Honestly.
Also, just like his shape.
Sure. Doesn't have like it's not like he's wearing a fucking blanket. His cape is like more sits on. It's more like he's wearing a cape instead of like a fucking cloak. Instead of a cloak.
Yeah.
Whatever. It says that practicality of the shoulder motion.
Yeah, but rule of cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. An important thing is sometimes he takes his whole cape and completely closes himself up in it.
Yes.
Because that's just fun to do in real life.
I mean, hell yeah, dude. I'd be doing that shit all the time.
Joker was right when he criticized the Batman Beyond outfit for he missed the cape.
Yeah.
One time I'll agree with the Joker.
Surely there's been more times. Now, the context around those things.
I don't know. I definitely disagree with him about explaining the joke.
What do you mean? Which part in particular?
He says if you have to explain the joke, there is no joke. Sometimes explaining the joke is the joke.
Yeah, that was before that was a thing, clearly. That came later in history.
I don't think that's true. Sometimes something is
You're
funny
gonna fact
because
check it,
you
though?
described it. I mean, not right now. I'm talking into a microphone.
Yeah, no, there's leeway.
I don't need to fact check. I have the microphone. I have the power of saying the things, and thus they have authority because I have the microphone.
Yeah, and sometimes you say things, for example, the color of a character's suit, and then I just fucking blindly follow along like a lamb to the slaughter. Yeah, thank God. Thank God. What would I have done if I got into a conversation with somebody about the color of that suit? I would have looked like a fucking idiot.
You would have looked like a fool. And would have then suddenly realized, wait, Hank's a fool.
Hank, why would you do this? Why?
Sometimes I misremember a thing.
It couldn't
fucking wrong.
Couldn't fucking be me. That shit never happens to me.
You never think you remember anything, so it's fine.
Oh my God. This is
the real problem is when you think you remember things. If you just never remember anything at all and you know you don't remember anything, it's fine. Then it's not a problem in the same way.
Look,
it's a different kind of problem.
Nobody is better at gaslighting myself than myself. Like, my parents asked the other day if I had taken a vehicle out and used it because there was like something like a setting or whatever. Shit was like different than it should be in a kind of problematic way. And I like walk through the timeline of like shit I had used, and I'm like, there's no way. There's zero way. But what if I did and I just don't remember it? But I wouldn't, because I normally never do this. But what if I did? Like, I was fucking like so concerned. I'm like, what if I did do it though? Even though like my first, like everything in my life to this point suggests that I would not. It cannot be me. But What if my memory is faulty? Just a weak moment of like, oh no.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was also even more. This was yesterday, so I was even more jet lagged than I am today.
Sure.
Like I was just having a time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, they introduced the idea that Lex Luthor has gotten cancer from being exposed to kryptonite.
Yeah, he's gotten like super cancer. Well, no, they don't call it cancer. They call it like a blood disease.
He's just got a terminal disease.
He's terminal blood poisoning or whatever.
He's just dying.
Because he kept the fucking kryptonite on himself for years waiting for the opportunity, which is hilarious.
It's like, you did this.
Yeah, dude, the fucking immediate, you did this. Like the fucking, oh, that was so funny. Not even a moment's hesitation.
In his defense, Superman did, like, capture him, put him in, like, this underground bunker, and then only put this one doctor in front of him who's like, so it turns out you're dying.
Yeah.
Like, Superman's not gaslighting him, but it's like the primo setup for gaslighting someone, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh, I should take a screen cap because he like doesn't he? No, he throws the clipboard at him, but doesn't he point? It's prime meme material.
Yeah, that is our. We do get that shot of Lex Luthor in bed. Very important. And then he just puts on his fucking Iron Man chest plate later.
Yeah. Dude, that whole
predating
scene,
that Iron Man movie.
That whole scene was
having
very funny. Because I didn't think that's where they were going with it at all. Like the way he's on the table and shit. And I'm like, oh, they're going to like send electricity. They're going to send like anti-kryptonite electricity.
No, it's a really weird sequence for
putting on a chest plate.
They're putting on a chest plate, yeah.
It's so strange. But I'm like, I had to watch. I like watched it twice because I'm like, did I miss something? Nope. Just that's where it went. And then it's just like glowing green. Because kryptonite, I guess.
Yeah. It's right.
Something.
Yeah, it's got kryptonite, and it's stopping his dying.
Yeah.
With kryptonite. I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. Why not? That's the solution to kryptonite-related blood poisoning is to just go farther down the kryptonite hole.
We get the Joker knows how you catch Batman is you set up a poker game and then Batman will show up to it. You just have to like make sure you're on the outside looking for Batman.
The fucking poker game into just him like Batman getting hit with a bag of rocks is so fucking prime. Like the Joker is like so fucking thrilled about it. Like, dude invented rocks in a bag to hit someone. Oh, that was so funny.
It's the ultimate joke.
Hell yeah.
And then I like Batman like taking apart the team just by, even though he's completely locked up. Oh, and the Joker knows he's like keeps complaining because he knows it's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. Man, that fucking
Batman
cheetah kiss,
fucking seducing cheetah.
Maybe I like danger.
And seducing her is just a fucking like mask for the fact that he's like he's bribing Ultra Humanites.
Yeah. God, that shit was so good.
It's also just like that episode is just like introduces all these supervillains that are like villains of these heroes, but they get no introduction for like the origins of their powers or what their deal is. Like who, like Star Sapphire, she just has Green Lantern powers, but like, who is she?
I think
it's not important. Don't worry about it.
I think my biggest like, who the fuck are you? Why do I care? Was Copperhead, like by far. Like,
sure, he's just another snake guy.
He's just 2-3 years ago. He was just another snake guy. No, but like, had we seen Cheetah before?
No.
Okay.
She's a Wonder Woman villain.
Probably, maybe I'm thinking like if I read something with her or something. Or just other cat character. Maybe I'm thinking the time Catwoman turned in, like she got turned into a bit of a cat, didn't she, at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of that. Honestly,
I thought many cat-themed characters in comics. Like there's Tigra in Marvel.
I thought we were going in a totally different direction, and I think my idea is cooler because we got Ultra Humanite, who is a gorilla. We get Cheetah, who is like a cheetah. We get Copperhead, who's a snake. And I'm like, okay, we're putting together a team. I see.
Yeah.
And then
these are like Spider-Man villains. And then all animal themed.
Yeah. And then Grundy comes out and Shade comes out and Star Sapphire comes out. And I'm like, I'm lost. Where's the theme? You had it and you dropped it. You fucked it up.
Yeah.
But no, as soon as all of them were, as soon as everybody was revealed, I was like, Cheetah is cool because she is a literal Catwoman. Star Sapphire has like cool powers. Shade has fucking dope powers. Ultra Humanite is like he's a gorilla, so he gets a pass. And then like Copperhead and Grundy are just like, what are we like? Fucking yawn. They don't do anything. They're not interesting, and also they just kind of suck.
Oh.
At least in this. They didn't do anything to make me be like, wow, you're cool. Mm-hmm. And like, if you're not
Grundy was someone that Superman could punch.
Yeah. No, like if you're not going to give their origin and stuff and not like spend any time with them, they got to be immediately interesting to like get me in. And they didn't. Everyone else had a thing.
Well, because it's like, they're like setting it up like it's like this is like the anti-Justice League, right? Like this is the group of supervillains built to fight the Justice League. But these are just the villains that Lex Luthor could offer money to, and they would do what he wanted.
Yeah, no, he's look.
Like
sometimes you can't.
They have nothing holding them together, and there isn't, and they get taken down without even really a big fight. Like there's a little fight, and then. But at the end, it's not like the supervillain throwdown that like you want.
Sometimes you can't.
It is very funny, but
you can't always purchase quality. You know, sometimes quality comes from the heart.
When Shade says you get what you pay, did you fight like your lives depended on it?
You
get what you pay for, Lex.
Yeah, dude, that shit was great.
He's like, fine, triple. They come back out down the elevator.
So good.
Like, fuck, you gotta fucking pay someone. It's gotta take a lot of money to fucking try and fight Superman. You know,
dude, that is an
and Wonder Woman,
insane bill.
Like, just man. And they're like, they only worry about Lex dying because they want to get paid first.
I mean, yeah, dude, exactly.
It's great. I love it.
Oh, it's classic shit. It was very good.
But I think, is that everything? Do you got anything else for these episodes? We got that scene with Green Lantern and Hawk Girl in the spaceship. They have their little fight.
Yeah, and they get
sure,
gassed.
take his side. I'm wrong again.
Yes, yeah. So this is like a thing that has spanned like fucking all of the cartoons except maybe Batman, and even then it's not maybe consistent. You know how sometimes when people are watching a movie and like a character is under the water with like the potential of drowning, and you like hold your breath to see like how would you do, right?
Yeah.
Ignoring the fact that they're in a stressful situation, you're sitting on your couch like watching it go down. I like to do that sometimes now with anytime like gas starts appearing in the room, because gas doesn't just immediately flood in sometimes, you know, like it's being pressured in, but like you could still get a quick and none of these people do it. They never do it. They just get gassed. So I was like, I was kind of thinking on that, like, you might have been able, like, she got a good Hawk Girl when they were trapped in the ship, in the wall.
Yeah.
She got a good crack on the glass, and like clearly a second one was gonna break it, right? That's kind of what we're building to. Like if she had
also Green Lantern should have been able to throw up a bubble shield,
dude. There's like, so much,
no problem.
Yeah, no,
that one was really. That was real. And like, and they're like having a conversation of like, why are we fucking in this spaceship anyway?
Yeah. And like, I guess I recognize they have to do this for the viewers, and especially when it's like kids or whatever. But the fact that it's always like colored gas too, like all of your senses, you can hear it going. It's fucking purple or yellow or whatever. And like all of your senses should be fucking going off immediately.
Yeah.
It's just very funny.
I think it's like just like lazy, or just like we have to get this character from here to here.
Yeah, no, it's just like a bit of
kind of thing.
Fuck it.
In this,
and it's
in this
not like
season,
it's
for sure.
It's not like it's terrible. It's whatever. We also got the episode. Well, not the episode. Sorry, it's the same episode. We got the moment of where they're stranded, and it's like we might be stranded here forever. And then like Green Lantern's like, wait, that I might have been a bit of a dick. Like he's about to like maybe apologize a little, and then they see the lights. That was good. Like he's not. He sees a line somewhere.
Oh. I might have been being a dick.
Fucking stuck forever with you, and she just flies off like, ooh. But no, ultimately,
Pull collar.
I came away from this batch of episodes very excited. Like I'm ready to see more. Like I want the ins on the characters, and also just like the fact that when it's just Batman generally, like you're focusing on different things. When it's just Superman, you're focusing on different things. Now I'm like so excited to see these heroes interacting with each other, because before that was like the special little treat, right? Is like the crossover episode. Or like in Superman when we had our Flash episode, like that's like a little tasty extra, and now that's just like what we get, and I love it.
Yeah,
I like watching all the team interact, and it's so good.
Well, it's because it's a Justice League show that's building on the backs of a great Batman show and a great Superman show, and it has Batman and Superman because they're great, but also like you understand why we're spending time with other characters, because we've seen a lot of this Batman and this Superman. Like we're very familiar with what they can do, and we're like other characters we're just getting to know or whatever.
Yeah,
and we're getting to know within the context of that knowledge or whatever in those stories.
Oh, totally. And it's I'm very happy, because sometimes you don't know until you actually like see a thing, but I'm like equally excited for the prospect of like, oh, we get Lex Luthor or Joker, like we get our returning characters that we've seen a bunch, but also I'm excited for like the new shit.
Yeah,
and that's that's a good sign.
Totally. One last thing I thought of is the Batman part-time thing joke is extra funny because he's fucking paying for all their shit.
Yeah, dude. He's like the one who sets it up, basically.
He's like, yeah, I only work here part-time. I pay all the checks, but...
Look, some guys like to have their well-organized like workbench and their powered tools and all that shit. Bruce Wayne likes to have a several $trillion space station on hand to tinker with.
And multiple spaceships.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, sometimes they get trashed. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, next time we'll finish up season 1. Which will be a bunch more 2-parters, and caps off with a 3-parter.
Oh shit! It's inverted. Crazy. Yeah, man. My body is ready.
Hell yeah! And the good thing to look forward to is this is the weakest season.
Yeah,
it actually is only up from here. It gets better after this season.
The fact that this is the weakest part is fucking
this is
insane.
our floor.
That's wild. Like it's such a fucking strong floor. All things considered, that's insane. That's very funny.
Yep. SaltCirclePodcast@gmail.com, SaltCirclePod on Twitter, Anchor.fm/SaltCircle. We're on YouTube at Salt Circle, and I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm not on Twitter.
Great choice.
As always, yeah. No regrets so far.
Peace.